What is up, good folk? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at the Polderbaan. Today being used for arrivals. And our first airplane to arrive is arriving from Cancun. It is a TUI Dreamliner. Flight 822. Years old, this one. First flight January 2015. A very good morning to everybody who has joined already. Happy Sunday to you all. Hope you're doing well. We're in the wait of a new area of rain because this is summer. Well, technically it's still fall, but spring. But somewhere over there in the distance lies an area of precipitation which is slowly but surely moving in. For the time being, it also looks like as it is moving further to the north, it is also dissolving. Our next airplane is a bit out still. A320neo EasyJet, arriving from London Stansted. Quick look on the map and status quo of the weather shows that we have crosswind. 11 knots, it's picking up a little bit, even though it is okay and it is 18 degrees C. We have nice crosswindy conditions today. Polderbaan, the only runway in use for arrivals. We're standing over here. In airplanes of interest coming this way, well, Jesus is going to Tivat, skipping the Netherlands today. We have two Cargolux B747s that are coming, one from Miami and one from Nairobi. We also have the Emirates A380, which now is expected 1 minute before 1 o'clock. That's interesting, it's making up time. If it is going to land before 1 o'clock, there is a chance we're going to see it land on this very runway. It's usually around 1 o'clock that the second runway for arrivals opens up. Often that is center, not always though. So we'll have to see. Now I'm hoping that the feed is coming through nicely. I am streaming for the first time with a new setup. I have a big monitor now attached to my camera. I think everything is working out all right. You have to loop the HDMI signal through the monitor because there's only one HDMI out port on my camera. But let me spare you the technical details. EasyJet A320neo arriving from London Stansted, 37 minutes underway. The OELSI, 4 years old, first flight September 2019. A lot of viewers already in the chat. Sorry if I cannot say hi to you all personally, but good morning everybody who has joined already. See a nice mixture of green, blue and grey. Members, moderators and non-members alike. Well, this is what it currently looks like over here. You can already see the beginning of the more cloudy area on the southern horizon. Seagulls. Now I thought I also heard quackers. those were cyclists. Now I was hearing. Ah yeah, that's Daisy over there. Where is she? There. Where? Servus Herr Wolf, YouTube fan, Mario, Lois, Tony, Nico, Wolfie. Very good morning to each and every one of you. Our next airplane is approaching in the distance, SAS, flight 1553, arriving from Stockholm, an A320neo. There it is. 1 hour and 38 minutes thus far underway. The ISIC, 6 years old, first flight December 2017. And indeed, Eric, no Orange Pride today, almost to Singapore. Had a look on flight radar before I went to bed and I saw that it was on the way to Singapore. Woke up this morning, saw it was still on the way. Always a nice reality check to see just how long those long haul flights can actually be. Daisy is quacking happily. More activity in the water further up ahead. Looks like Donald and some other duckies. No coots just yet. Which is interesting because it was always the ducks that slept in late. And the coots and grebes were up early. Ah, Russell also back. Sitting on the lantern closest by. I'll say hi to him in a moment. That is if he is still around, but he just flew off. I suppose he has better things to do than to wait until I point my camera towards him. Now I also see, and let me turn around, 777-200 arriving from Johannesburg. Got it. It was in the vicinity of the tower. A little bit, yeah. Oh wow, that's center in one go. And there you go. That would be KLM flight 592, the 777 arriving from Johannesburg, now flying base in the vicinity of Heemskerk. Meanwhile, the duckies, that's a maneuver we've seen before. A trio and then one of them scoots away. And now one just flew by me over here. I think it's their way of saying hi to the viewers. Giving us a little show. Splashdown? Yes. Right, morning cardio in the pocket. Hey Mitchell, also back in the chat. Morning mate, good to see ya. Back to manual focus. And now we wait. Entering the field of view from the left is Z777 KLM Flight 592, arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. 10 hours and 36 minutes on the way so far. And this 777-200 is the PHBQE, 20 years old, first flight January 2004. Now in its path is also a KLM Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena, flight 749, which also is expected to enter our field of view. Well, not yet. Just flew over the beach. Beaches of Heemskerk and Castricum. There it is. Gear is extending. And yeah, it is windy. And yeah, I already have my image stabilizer on. This is back in the optical zoom range. That was excessive use of digital zoom on top of optical zoom, which only makes the vibrations worse. And Mitchell says, is it weird to watch this in the shower? Maybe a little. It is a first, I think. Although I do believe that Jerry was also sometimes sitting in his hot tub, but I'm assuming that is in his yard and not inside. Got the Dreamliner turning in behind the 777, and if visibility allows us to see it, we should also see an Embraer 190 as number 3 arriving from the right, somewhere in the distance. Although I'm not seeing anything. Just yet. And it is the dead cat today, Austria Wolf. Probably quite audible because we're now in double-digit wind speeds and the wind is blowing from behind, which also is what the Sennheiser is most susceptible to. So I think this would have been a day. This would have been better. It would have been a blimp day. No, it is a blimp day. It would have been better if I had taken the blimp with me. I'm still testing out what everything is doing. Also the orientation of the wind. Wind from behind is providing more rumble than wind from the side or wind from the front. Caravan on the highway, in the background on the right. Also a very Dutch thing. Thank you, Clemencia, for the update. The A380 expected around 12:50. Well, it was 59 just now when I checked last time myself. If it is expected before 1 o'clock, that would be terrific. Makes the likelihood of it landing on Polderbaan that much higher. Although, this being Schiphol Airport, nothing is ever guaranteed. Plus, we're also still vulnerable for rain if it doesn't dissipate enough as it moves to the north. Hey there, Roadhog. Good morning. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Norbert, good morning. Good to see you too. Hope all is well with everybody who has joined already. Now, after this Dreamliner, we are back to a couple of narrow bodies, it seems like. Embraer 190 arriving from Prague, A320 arriving from Birmingham, another Embraer 190 arriving from Berlin. Two narrow bodies in the background already visible. KLM flight 749 arriving from Cartagena in Colombia. This was the PHBKF, 4 years old, first flight December 2019. Still relatively calm over here. Little lad and his dad, I think, are over here at the bench. We do have some more people over there. And at the parking of the Spottersplatz itself seems rather busy already. Also outbound traffic passing overhead. Nice little KLM Embraer. Right, 2 airplane glide slope shot for now, with an Embraer 190 arriving from Prague and an A320 arriving from Birmingham. Airplanes are crabbing, however they are crabbing away from us because the wind is blowing from the other side, more or less towards us. This is KLM flight 1352, an Embraer 190 returning from Prague, the Czech Republic. 1 hour and 9 minutes on the way. The airplane is 10 years old, had its first flight in January 2014. Let's see, 3 airplanes on the glide slope now. EasyJet arriving from Birmingham, KLM arriving from Berlin, and El Al arriving from Tel Aviv. This is EasyJet EasyJet flight 27842 arriving from Birmingham. 50 minutes it was underway. Switched, registered, 12 years old. Hotshot time. Right. Three more airplanes on the glide slope. The next airplane, now number 3, is Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb, A319. And this is KLM flight 1772 and Embraer 190 arriving from Berlin. And Clementia, if you're referring to that item that I received during the stream, I haven't tested it yet. Testing some other stuff right now. Not sure if it is an improvement though. The monitor is big and catches a lot of wind, and my setup already is susceptible to wind. Interestingly, I also don't think that my monitor has a brighter screen than my camera does. Although it is bigger. That's the only advantage, that it is a bit bigger. So I'm not sure if this is a keeper. And also that remote control that I got in the stream yesterday, I don't think I can use it. I will have to try it out, but you need to attach it to the panhandle, and I'm not using the panhandle directly. So that means you're attaching it to something that you still need to reach for. Anyway, let's not get too technical. That's boring stuff that most of you aren't interested in. LO. Having arrived from Tel Aviv and using the reversers, as do the pilots of Ryanair oftentimes. Meanwhile, Senor Crow has returned well and flew off even before I could enable the autofocus. Croatia Airlines up next, arriving from Zagreb, and we have another heavy behind it, KLM flight 644. Hadi Liebe, goedemorgen. Try the umbrella. Took it off again. Things started vibrating a little bit, as I expected. With more than just a slight breeze, the umbrella needs to be fixated on a separate mount. And the camera tripod is not suitable. Also, the monitor I'm now using also catches a lot of wind. Plus, I'm not convinced that it is more bright than the screen on my phone, on my camera. So the only advantage would be a bigger screen. Not convinced yet that this has added value over just using the camera. But there you go. You need to test it out to know for sure. Right, KLM flight 644, arriving from New York JFK. This was the PHBKD, 4 years old, first flight November 2019. If you now think, hey, that was a nice looking airplane, I'd like to see more of them, you're in luck. Another 787-10 Dreamliner is underway, arriving from Austin in Texas. KLM flight 668. 8 hours and 53 minutes underway. The 787-10 Dreamliner with the registration PHBKH is 4 years old now, and it began flying exactly 4 years ago, well, at least in the same month, May 2020. Hey Akil, thank you for the kind words, mate. Happy that you're enjoying the show. Hope everybody does. Dreamliner. No, I haven't seen the firefighters yet. Do they do their patrol round on Sundays? Store seems to be closed. We do have some movement in the tower. That's a good thing. Now, next airplane is arriving from Bucharest, daarom. Another airplane behind it already visible, that is a KLM 737 arriving from Rome, flight 1600. Now, the Dutch word for that's why is daarom. D-A-A-R-O-M. So that's why you sometimes see the joke, why, waarom, daarom in the chat. Waarom, W-A-A-R-O-M, is the Dutch word for why. And daarom, that's why. Except with a T instead of a D and one A instead of two. The pronunciation is similar. Daarom, daarom, waarom. Why? That's why. This airplane is 10 years old already, had its first flight in October 2013. Giving us a little butt shot and the Dreamliner in the background. I have to say the monitor does show a bit better the details. Also makes it easier to stay standing upright. Genau, warum, darum. So the joke also applies to German. Next up, KLM flight 1600, 737-800 arriving from Rome. 1 hour 58 minutes underway so far. And what's that in the background behind it? That's an A319 from EasyJet arriving from London Gatwick. This particular airplane is 16 years old, had its first flight in December 2007. Big Wi-Fi hump in front of the tail. Now, looking to the south, where later in the day rain will be coming from. Now, already showed you yesterday, and it definitely has not become less severe. The fields, everything around it already, you can see puddles here and there forming again. Dutch soil being very satiated by the copious amounts of precipitation that we've had over the last, well, half year, if not more already. Right, EasyJet A319 arriving from London Gatwick, and in the background we have a 777-200 arriving from Johannesburg, KLM flight 598. First a quick look at the landing of the EasyJet A319 arriving from London Gatwick. Now, I just arrived on the parking lot this morning, and I was still getting all my stuff from my car. When an EasyJet Airbus went around, I don't know why, had a look, immediately looked, do I see something blocking the runway? Is there still an airplane that is too late with vacating the runway? Couldn't see anything. So I don't know why it went around, but it did go around. Probably around, what was it? 9:15-ish local time. Vico says if the stream doesn't work out, you can always become a teacher. Well, I have a job already that pays way better than that, so not gonna happen. If I'm going back to working a day job, I'm just going to work more days of what I'm already doing. This is the easiest. Right, heavy's time. Up first, KLM flight 598, 777-200 arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. 11 hours and 12 minutes underway. The PHBQO, 17 years old, first flight January 2007, and the airplane behind it is no, not United, Emirates Sky Cargo. I keep thinking about United when I see UAE, but it is Emirates Sky Cargo. More 777s, damn it. Nice. Let's go from one triple to the next. Emirates Sky Cargo up next. Why did I want to say KLM? KLM, Emirates Sky Cargo flight 9906. It's still early here. Arriving from Dubai, 6 hours and 27 minutes underway, which is typical. We have a 3 airplane glide slope shot. Okay, I have to say on the monitor I do see those little dots just a little bit better. Maybe the monitor is a keeper after all. Right, so flight time similar to what the A380 normally would have flown in this part if it were in this part of the sky. The 777 freighter is 11 years old. First flight March 2013. Right, nice. 2 airplanes behind it already visible. Air France A321 arriving from Paris, and Sky Express A320neo number 3 arriving from Zakynthos. Zakynthos. Come on, spool up those reversers. You know you want to. Also departure from runway 24 in the background. Let me also filter for outbound traffic. That would be Ryanair off to Dublin. Meanwhile, up next, Air France flight 1444. An A321 arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle, 45 minutes, underway now. 15 years old, first flight February 2009. And the A320neo arriving from Zakynthos behind it. We should also, yeah, from the right, start seeing the next airplane move in. That is Lufthansa flight 2302 arriving from Munich, and that is an A319. Where's Jerry? He has to take in the glide slope shots. We're missing him. Infinity, goedemorgen kerel, good to see you again, mate. Representing Lissa together with me. Also, Jean-Yves, bonjour mon ami, good to see you again. Hope all is well. All others who have joined in the meantime, welcome to the show as well. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. We are standing along the Polderbaan, 1-8 right today, being used for arrivals, now the only runway. Crosswind from the east-southeast, and rain is entering the country from the south. What else is new? We have a little bit of sunshine right now. Ever so slightly. And this is what we need to look to see if the rain is getting closer or not. So far, so good. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke. Quite horizontal, as you guys can see. Meanwhile, Daisy doesn't give an F. Doesn't give a duck. What? 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 Yeah, that's me. What? What? No? Aren't you going to say hi? Well, she wagged her tail a little bit. What? Daisy's always been a little bit shy. That's okay. Sky Express up next, flight 7100, arriving from Zakynthos in Greece. Greece is bliss, like ignorance. 2 hours 48 minutes underway. The airplane is 3 years old. First flight April 2021. Sky Express. Nya nya nya, nya nya nya. Alrighty. Hey, Richard also back in the chat from sunny Rotterdam Zuid. Is it really sunny though? Already saw on Bijradar the precipitation in Zeeland. Hope you guys still have some sunshine left. Lexit Chichek says, do you have some bread for the ducks? I don't. I'm also told that you shouldn't be feeding ducks bread. I believe that's not good for their intestines. Common misconception that it's good to feed ducks and other birds bread. Now I'm not sure about other birds, but at least for ducks, I thought I read somewhere that bread is actually not that good for them. Also for birds in general, I believe it's better that you feed them nuts and seeds. Right, Star Alliance livery. Nifty. Comes our City Line. Also herzlich willkommen. You can vacate the stage on your left. There you go. A little bit shut. Hey, that's nice, Richard. 3 weeks. Western USA, probably a busy schedule, a lot of states and sites that you visited. Hope you've had a great holiday there. That was still on my to-do list. I was already planning to do that. That was right in the year that my mom passed away in 2018. We were supposed to go together later in the year. Unfortunately, that never materialized. Still on my wish list, on the bucket list. All the national parks and whatnot. Beautiful. This is Tui, returning from Willemstad Curaçao, flight 397, 7878 Dreamliner. HTFM, as you guys could see, and that is 9 years old. First flight of this airplane was in March 2015. Nice Richard, who writes, did a lot, see a lot, and the best of it all, every day around 27 degrees C. So that is, what is it, 50, 70, 70, 80, 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Perfect activity weather. Michel also tuning in from Rotterdam Zuid. Just no sun, but rain instead. Yeah, I kind of sort of suspected that sunny Rotterdam Zuid has become Richard's catchphrase. Even if the weather is abysmal, he'll still report from sunny Rotterdam South, which I like. Wish it could be true. KLM 737-700 arriving from Geneva up first. In the background, another 737-800 is turning in. That is arriving from Copenhagen. And after that, it is an Air Canada Dreamliner that is about to come in the field of view in a few moments. Well, still flying between Castricum and Heemskerk right now. Birds are chirping quite actively, as you guys can probably hear. Little bit of Viagra in the air, as you guys can see. The windsock not fully erect, but it is definitely more upright than it was yesterday. American Airlines taking off. Where to? Philly? No. Dallas. American Airlines flight 221 just took off from runway 24. Also audible is outbound traffic. Audible, Bob, where is it? Too far to the left. There it is. Air Baltic. Image stabilizer enabled. Took a little moment to calibrate, which is exactly why I'm not a big fan of it. Right. Look at this. 737-800 arriving from Copenhagen up first. Air Canada arriving from Montreal, number 2. And Air China Southern Cargo, what is it? Chinese triple arriving from Shanghai. China Cargo Airlines turning in. And good morning to all the viewers who have joined in the meantime. Welcome to the show. Happy Sunday. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. Standing here next to the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. I'm on the Onion runway being used for arrivals, and this is looking to the south and southwest. This is where we need to look to. Later in the day, rain will be arriving from over there. Right now, already over the province of Zeeland. And we're getting mixed signals from Rotterdam Zuid. And I'm assuming it is also starting to rain over there. Did see that it was dissolving a little bit as the area of rain moved further north which was probably going to buy us some more time, but whether or not we are going to stay dry here today until the Emirates A380 arrives, which is around 1 o'clock last time we checked, remains to be seen. If we are going to be able to stick out until then, we'll also see 2 Cargolux 747s arrive. Air Canada, having arrived from Montreal. Well, the duckies have landed. Now, Chinese Schiphol is coming. Let's have a quick look. Just a quick look. Refresh the weather radar past hour. We're standing over here. And this is a loop of the last hour. Moves more or less in this direction. I think we're going to stay dry until the A380 has landed, but let's not jinx it. Let's not make that call too out loud. Looks reasonable. Right. Let's also have another look at the airplanes of interest in a moment. First, let's look at the landing of China Cargo Airlines Flight 209. Chinese 777 freighter arriving from Shanghai. 10 hours and 53 minutes on the way. The airplane is a year old and had its first flight in July 2022. Come on, get loud. You know you want to. Next up is going to be a BA A319 arriving from London Heathrow. Vaguely visible behind it already are the lights of the Transavia 737-800 arriving from Ljubljana in Slovenia. Yeah, let's also do a refresh of the meter while we're at it. So the wind is blowing from the southeast, has increased to 12 knots or 4/4. It is still CAV okay, which means ceiling and visibility are okay. Lower 5,000 feet around the airport, no significant clouds or limitations in visibility. It's not cold, 19 degrees C, that is roughly 70 degrees F. Runway use, we're standing still over here at the only runway being used for arrivals right now. Airplanes of interest, let's see, Cargolux arriving from Miami will be first to arrive, 11:50 expected in an hour and 10 minutes. Another Cargolux arriving from Nairobi, 12:25, 1 hour and 48 minutes. Jesus has almost arrived in Tivat, and the A380 is flying in the vicinity of Bucharest, now expected around 12:30. That's good news. 12:30, that makes the likelihood of it landing on Polderbaan, the only runway for arrivals around then, a great deal higher. Meanwhile, outbound an SAS CRJ. Hello chaps. still busy trying to paste that METAR into the ticker. For those of you who don't speak METAR, let me take you through it as I am refreshing it. So the METAR now in the ticker is the twice per hour updated weather. Starts off with the date and time of the report. So that is the day of today, and the time in Zulu time, which is Central European time, plus or minus 2 hours. So whenever it's 8 o'clock over there, it is 10 o'clock Central European time, which is the local time, which you can see in the bottom left. Now it always starts with the wind. Didn't have time to take you through it, so let me reload the METAR again, take you through it. Right, so this is the report of today, the 26th, 8:25 Zulu time, that's 10:25 Central European time, so it's from 20 minutes ago. It starts off with the wind, 12 knots from the direction 140, but the wind speed is, the wind direction is variable between 110 degrees and 170 degrees. CAV okay, meaning ceiling and visibility are okay. The lower 5,000 feet around the airport contain no significant clouds or precipitation or anything, or limited visibility. The temperature 19 degrees C, the dew point 13 degrees C, the air pressure 1014 hectopascals, and no SIG means no significant changes expected in the upcoming 2 hours. Right, so if you know how to read them, they're very informative, gives you an idea of what is going on. Now, who's up for pizza? This is a Transavia that is arriving from Pisa. Doesn't say what kind of pizza, just pizza. But any pizza is always nice. 1 hour 45 minutes on the way. Flight 5424. The PH HBM, 14 years old. First flight March 2010. Airplanes visible in the background. Air Malta A320 arriving from, I think, Malta. It's an airplane you don't see every day. Transavia, quite rare. Oh, right, I see where the topic in the chat is going about. What's your favorite pizza? And of course the question that is equivalent to Boeing or Airbus in aviation. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no? What's the verdict? Now, up next is Avion Express Malta, flying for KM Malta, previously known as Air Malta. This airplane is arriving from, you guessed it, Malta. Sure, they'll serve whiskey aboard that is single Malta. Look at the intricate details, it is beautiful. Here you can see the tail, full of details. Just a gorgeous airplane to look at. The level of detail As your wolf says, you open the box. Pandora's box. Pineapple, yay or nay on the pizza. Up next, something that is good looking. ITA Airways, flight 120. And this is an ITA that we don't see every day. This is a Bombardier C-Series, an A220. It's not an A320, it's not an A321neo, not an A320neo. It's Bombardier C-Series or A220 300. Arriving from Milan. Now, one of the prettiest airplanes and one of the prettiest liveries. That makes for something nice to see. Might even have a thumbnail written all over it. Bellissimo. Questo aereo mi piace molto. Even though the engines are not as azzurro. Now, also a big thank you to Catherine. First 10 months of membership. Thank you so much for your continued support, Catherine. Hope you still like things in the lounge. If something isn't to your liking, do let me know. Thank you so much for your continued support there. 10 months, 10 down, 2 to go before going green. I heard something. Well, never mind. Never mind. A G in the house, arrived from Athens. Regular A320. G in the house and also another bad shot. We're ready. Now, the next airplane is also ITA. Although it's back to what we are used to, A321neo. Still a looker. Now, I don't recall that we had the A220 of ITA before in the show. I think that was a channel premiere. In the background we have United 777-200 arriving from San Francisco. Flying parallel to it is the KLM Embraer 190 arriving from Munich. That looks like it is going to be the first airplane to the center runway, which will then have officially opened. Parallel arrivals in progress then. right. The wind is definitely not slowing down. And this is United Airlines Flight 968 arriving from San Francisco. Left of it, vaguely visible, the next airplane behind it. And that is a 737-800 arriving from London Heathrow, KLM Flight 1002. Flying parallel. It's the first airplane to the center runway, an Embraer 190 arriving from Munich. Which means that until 11:40 or so, probably. Parallel landings are going to begin. Also just now got a notification of one of my weather apps informing me that it is going to rain in my hometown pretty soon. That lies 15 kilometers further to the south. Serves as a warning sign that precipitation is also coming this way. 22 years old, this one. First flight November 2001. So this one began flying shortly after 9/11. This is what it currently looks like south of me. You can definitely see that the cloudiness is drifting in. And this is probably inbound traffic to the center runway. Passing over Schiphol at 7,000 feet, then making a left-hand turn to the north on the downwind leg. KLM Flight 1002 up next, arriving from London Heathrow. 42 minutes underway, the PHBXE. 24 years old, first flight April 2000. The next airplane behind it is JetBlue, arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. Birds continue to chirp on the right of me. Wish I could see the birds that are chirping. Suspecting they're hiding in the grass. Alrighty, next up, JetBlue from Boston, Massachusetts, flight 631, an A321neo. There it is. What else is in the pipeline? Not much. Although there is a Dreamliner arriving from Las Vegas that is flying now north of Beverwijk. Maybe they'll do an inspection of the Polderbaan in the meantime, I don't know. We'll have a few moments to follow traffic to the center runway after this airplane has landed. For now, JetBlue arriving from Boston, Massachusetts, A321neo, 6 hours and 25 minutes underway. Relatively new airplane, as they all are. This one began flying in February 2023, making it a year old. Italy. Quick look at the weather radar. Let's do a refresh of the loop of the last hour. We're standing approximately over here. Right. Yeah. Definitely looks like something is coming. The weather is slowly but surely drifting in. So whether or not we are going to make it until the A380 lands remains to be seen. Not so optimistic anymore looking at the latest radar data. Then again, weather radar showing precipitation and precipitation actually falling and reaching the ground are two different things. Let's just see how it goes. Now, sadly with this wind it is still a bit shaky, the footage, despite dynamic image stabilizer enabled. Transavia arriving from Meon. Mayonnaise. So we've had pizza, mayonnaise. What else is coming? What other food items are expected to come to Schiphol Airport? Right, telescope mode disengaged. Oop. Back again. Now, also a massive big thank you JD for yet 5 more memberships gifted by you. Don't know why you do that. Still, thank you so much. Wasn't necessary though. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. There's 5 new members. Don't forget to say Dankeschön to JD or JD if you are one of the recipients. Is this the Adler? Looks like it. No, wait, this is Bulgaria Air. Oh, Bulgaria Air arriving from Sofia. Embraer 190. Flight 461. 2 hours and 26 minutes on the way, this airplane. 12 years old, first flight February 2012. Going back to a bit more moderate zoom in the top end of optical zoom. Probably makes the footage a bit more relaxing to watch. Not the best day to do hyper zooms. Let's quickly turn back our next airplane to Polderbaan. About to land, arriving from Las Vegas. This is KLM flight 636, a Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner, 9 hours and 32 minutes on the way. The airplane is 4 years old, first flight October 2019. Now you have flex, and now you don't. Never grows old, seeing the flex disappear once the spoilers go up. So if you just joined the show, welcome. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. Parallel arrivals in progress right now, probably until 11:40 or so. If we're going to make it until then remains to be seen. There's another area of rain that is coming in, drifting in from the north, from the south. I mean, and slowly but surely things on this end have become more grey. It's drifting in right now, obscuring the sun. Looking to the north, still more open bits of sky, although it is cloudy all over. Two airplanes on the glide slope for Polderbaan, Iberia Express A320 up first, arriving from Madrid, and in the background we have Delta Airlines Flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Today also sadly not in the A350 but the A330. It is windy, we have wind blowing from the southeast. The airplanes are crabbing, but it's harder to see because they're pointing away from us instead of towards us, because the wind is blowing from the other side. The prevalent wind in the Netherlands is southwest, so often when there are crosswind conditions on this runway, you will see the airplanes crab and point their nose directly towards us up until the very last moment. Now, and you need to know this as a frame of reference, but now you can see they're actually pointing away from us and then turning in a little bit shortly before touching down. Weeks, then the days will get shorter again here on the northern hemisphere. Summer officially begins then. I sure hope we'll still be getting some summer here in the Netherlands, because the weather last 9 months has been abysmal. A lot of this and very little of that there. Next up, Delta Airlines Flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Faintly at its 9 o'clock are the lights of the next airplane behind it. Also a big thank you to Alan, who just now gifted another membership. Xiamara is the recipient, I see. Not sure if she's in the chat. Oh yeah, you are. And already said thanks. Welcome back to the Aurora Skyline, Xiamara, and a big thank you to Big Al or Alan for gifting the membership. Delta Airlines Flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, 8 hours and a minute on their way. 20 years old, this airplane. First flight March 2004. Now, if there's one thing that Delta A330s can do, it is getting loud, so let's look and listen. Fingers crossed. That's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I was talking about. Mike is tuning in from still sunny Enschede. I'm not jealous, but do send some of that sunshine over. We can use it over here. Thank you, Richard Klein-Gunnewijk, for your kind words. Parallel arrivals in the meantime in progress. The next airplane to Polderbaan is a Transavia 737 arriving from Innsbruck, beautiful Tyrol, lovely airport. And the airplane behind it is another Delta A330 at its 9 o'clock. That's Delta Airlines Flight 162 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's just fixate everything. Yeah, we've got the pan and tilt axis now on lock. Reduces a little bit of the vibrations. Only so much. Time to take another sip of vodka to keep warm. Transavia flight 6610 in the foreground, arriving from Innsbruck, 737-800, 1 hour and 20 minutes underway. The PHHXM, which is 6 years old and had its first flight in April 2018. Delta Airlines A330 behind it. And looks like we'll see the first E2 Embraer after that. Oh wow, well my monitor does work. In that respect, I see some twinkling at 7 o'clock of the number 2. So it was already visible. We now have been able to see that on my 3.5-inch camera monitor. Has to be said. Right. So although it is a wind catcher, maybe the monitor, the film monitor is a keeper. Also much better standing upright fully. Oh, Russell just now did a flyby. Well, that was Russell also saying hi to you all. Next up, Delta Airlines Flight 162, A330-300 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 7 hours and 39 minutes on the way. The airplane is 17 years old. First flight was in October 2006. It's the November 812 November whiskey. Whiskey. Single Malta whiskey. So yeah, the airplane is crabbing. It's just crabbing away from us. And you can now see it turning back in. Now it is in alignment with the runway. Probably should have said this before the landing and also before the landing of the previous Delta A330, but watching AMS Live you do at your own discretion. Viewer discretion is advised. AMS Live cannot be held accountable for any loss to eardrums or speakers. Watch the show at your own discretion. Now, though it isn't raining just yet, the membership rain is continuing. First up, a big thank you to Peter K, who just now gifted the membership, and who was the recipient? That was Arno. Welcome to the club, Arno, and thank you so much, Peter, for gifting Arno a membership just now. Also a big thank you to Catherine, who also gifted the membership just now. Who was the recipient? See that Carol was the recipient. Welcome, Carol, and thank you so much, Catherine, for the gifted membership. See that Lance is also back in the chat. Lance asks, does Russell have thrust reversers? Well, I hope if he does have them, he doesn't apply them mid-air. See that Han is also back in the chat. Good morning. And what up? It's me favorite dickhead. Good evening, Alvin, with a super chat. 330 A330 AUSD. It's an A330 super chat, Australian dollars. Thank you so much. You really shouldn't have, but cheers, mate. E2 Embraer, KLM flight 1030, arriving from Manchester. More traditional Embraer 190 going to the center runway right now. Headphones also excluded. Also damage to headphones, Evan. I see the number of viewers dropping immediately. Everything on your own discretion. Screw that. I'm going home. Yeah, no, that's too much of a corporate risk. I'm sure no insurance company would want to insure the potential damages emanating from all those damaged speakers, headphones, eardrums. What with Delta still flying the A330 to Amsterdam. Now, this is Air Transat, an A321neo. Narrow body, crossed just from Montreal to almost to Amsterdam. Much rather make that flight in something that has just turned onto the glide slope behind it, which is Air Canada Flight 808, a 777-200 long range. Probably a bit more comfy. Then again, this is probably the cheaper option to cross the Atlantic. Air Transat Flight 324, arriving from Montreal, 6 hours and 30 minutes underway in a narrow body. 3-year-old airplane. First flight was in June 2020. That's a good suggestion, Hans. AMS Live earplugs from the merch store. That's a good idea. Another thing that I need to look into. Now, the boring Embraers from KLM are landing on center. Meanwhile, we're getting the excitement. I like the division of labor. Little Air Transat butt shot, and oh, the wind is throwing up the camera, even though I did check the balance yesterday with the new configuration. Also a big thank you to Mark for your 2 months of membership, and Mark writes 2 months already and still liking the stream. Well, I'm happy that you do. Do let me know when things go sour and you start not liking the stream. That goes for everybody. If there's something that can be improved. And don't start saying, oh, you should pronounce Houston as Houston. Because I know that. That's a test to see who is paying attention and who has gotten used to me so much that they're disregarding my yada yada. Some people are still paying attention, never pay attention to what I say. Most of it is utter nonsense. Air Canada Flight 808 in the foreground. It is a boot to land arriving from Toronto, Canada. 777-200 long range. Another big bird in the background, and that is a 777-300 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, KLM. Air Canada 777-200 long range, now 6 hours and 36 minutes on the way. 16 years old, first flight February 2008. Let's look and listen. Hadi Flores, goedemorgen. Dutch Indovinaris says, I'm standing behind you with my 2 kids. They want to say hi to you. Where is that? Ah! They were standing behind me, but they are already on the move. Wave to the camera, folks. Nice. Awesome. Saw that a bit too late. And fire trucks out and about. I see in the chat. Where are they? Am I missing their patrol round? Not seeing them. Anyway, as more KLM Embraers and German Airways Embraers are being forwarded to the center runway, we're getting the good stuff here. So keep them coming. This is KLM flight 736, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, 777-300. Touching down after 8 hours and 33 minutes. So yeah, it's definitely a bit more crowded over here now than it was in the beginning of the stream. Still have that man and his son that were already there when I was walking up here. Still there. Asked them if they would be bothered by me setting up here when I did. They were okay with me standing here, so cool. Otherwise, could have gone a little bit further back to the road. Then again, you don't have the A+ view at the canal, insofar as something is going on over there. So also a few people north of me, pedestrians, cyclists. Now, ladies and gentlemen, members, time to dust off that emoji for this airplane. You know what time it is. Red alert, red alert. Also make sure that that butt shot emoji is present, and now I am hearing them. More red from the other side. Here they come, firefighters, bringing a salute. Well, I waved to all 3 of them and they did not use their sirens or anything. Bummer. Although it is a nice combination, red and red. About to land is the A321neo from play, flight 460, arriving from Reykjavik, 2 hours 55 minutes on the way. Also a little butt shot to boot. A farewell present, giving us a chance to see through those see-through engines. Now if you like Embraer 190s, sit back and relax. There's 3 coming this way now. Probably still a bit more. Oh, the chat moved right as I tried to press on Evan's super sticker. Thank you so much for that. I was pressing it and it moved. JD's butt shot playtime span got illuminated and highlighted instead, but meant to highlight Evan's super sticker. Thank you so much, Evan. Right, Embraer 190s. Now if one of them is piloted by Captain Wheelie, it would be awesome. This one apparently isn't. Can we get a wave then? Not necessarily. Got more going to the center runway. It is Embraer 190 Mania. Buy one, get one free. Johan is tuning in from sunny north. Alan says, catch you later. Catch you later, Alan. Thanks for joining. See you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for the kind words, Mr. Blue Sky. So, still sunny in the north. Although, for how long remains to be seen. I think that area of rain is expected to pass over the entire country. Silver lining is my phone hasn't given any warnings yet for impending precipitation for Schiphol, which I also have as one of my locations for which to receive alarms. Right, Embraer 190s. This one is arriving from Dublin, Ireland, flight 1136. Also not piloted by Captain Wheelie quite clearly. We'll wave then, perhaps. I'm never initiating a wave, but I do reciprocate if the pilot waves first. That is Air Oink Oink. Fly pigs being chased by firefighters. Next up is another Embraer 190 arriving from Bristol, KLM flight 1076. Flight time 52 minutes. 83 nautical miles in the pocket on the flight already. 15 years old, first flight October 2008. Catherine asks, what days do you stream? Well, let's just say that it very much depends on the weather. I have a day job on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so those are more or less set in stone as days that I cannot do streaming. The other days of the week I am available to stream. Now, last more than half a year, I haven't been able to stream nearly as much as I would have liked due to weather. Austrian. Hannes reporting rain just started in Rotterdam. Right. Adi says, looks like rain for you at 12:30. I sure hope it's going to be a bit later than that. Just a little bit. ETA of the A380 was also 12:30 or so. Now, wasn't there also a 747 expected around this time? Let's have a quick look on flight radar. Yeah, Cargolux is crossing the North Sea, expected 11:52. The other Cargolux is expected 12:27, and the Emirates A380 still expected before 1 o'clock, but 8 minutes to the hour. Yeah, I needed to stay dry until 1 o'clock. Let's do a reverse rain dance, folks. Hopefully we're going to stay dry here until 1 o'clock. Daisy is also chiming in, doing her reverse rain dance in the water. Quack, quack. Quack, quack. In the meantime, this 737-800 arriving from Edinburgh, Subbra, KLM Flight 924. Which is an ideal working day, working from 9 to 4. I'll sign for that. On the far right you can see the windsock. A little bit of Viagra in the air. Firefighters are making sure that that gets sprayed out of the air. So you're thinking that grass is going to grow quite happily in the area where they spray that water, containing all that blue stuff from the air. Now, double E2 Embraer time. One going to the center runway, also one coming this way. One coming this way is arriving from Brussels, so it's a real long distance flight, this one. KLM Flight 1704, 28 minutes on the way. Is that something bigger in the background? It does look like it. That looks like a Flying AMS Live logo, doesn't it? And it is one. So we have an E2 Embraer arriving from Brussels, and after that it's a 7879 Dreamliner. This is KLM Flight 1704, touching down after a mere 28 minutes and 88 nautical miles of flight. 2 years old, this airplane, first flight October 2021. And we catch a wave. The answer is no. No dice. In that case, let us turn back, have a look at the next airplane in the pipeline. You can already see some lights of the airplane behind it. That would be, what is that? That's an Embraer 190 arriving from Basel. The Dreamliner though is arriving from Toronto, KLM Flight 696, 6 hours and 40 minutes on the way, 7879 Dreamliner. The airplane is 8 years old, the PHBHC. First flight was in October 2015. Hey, goeiedag. Ik ben Boy van de AMS Live, inderdaad, heel goed. Wie zijn jullie? Jordi. Jordi en? Ben. Jordi en Ben. Awesome. Two young fellows over here with big cameras and lenses, also taking pictures, defying nature, Mother Nature, before it starts raining. Hebben jullie al mooie foto's genomen, jongens? Mooi. Now you see the flex. And now you don't. So is there a PHTHC as well? This is the BHC. Would be a very Dutch registration if there was the PHTHC. Wolfgang says Iceland Air flight 500, the 100 years livery, 1 hour and 10 minutes out. Yeah, well, I think think we'll have to dance a bit harder, do that reverse rain dance really enthusiastically. It does look a bit brighter now again, looking in this direction. Yeah, we'll see if it's going to stay dry long enough for us to be able to see the 757. Also was enthusiastically yesterday making it the thumbnail of the stream initially, but in the end we had to wrap it up before it arrived, sadly. Daisy is still in the water. Haven't seen Donald yet. Also Harry, haven't seen him. In fact, at the moment not a lot of birds are in the water, as far as I can see over here. There are a couple over there, but hard to see if they're ducks or coots or something else. Now, in the meantime, another Embraer 190 is coming this way. This is German Airways, not Chucky, arrival from Basel. Indeed, Austrian Wolf, fire up the windmills, blow away the rain. German Airways, arrival from Basel, flying as KLM flight 1944. 306 nautical miles and not containing Captain Wheelie. 15-year-old airplane, first flight January 2009. Dagenpie. It's the Dagenpie. Good morning, Bomberon Gaming. How's the live stream going? You tell me. Hans says it's time for an AMS Live party tent to stand dry. Well, party tents are not going to resolve the issue. First of all, whenever it is windy, it is really difficult to set them up on your own. You need a second person. Second of all, they're going to be in the way of contrail spotting, because you would look at tent cloth right now. On paper it is a nice idea. In actual practice, probably not going to work that well. PHBCA in the meantime has landed. Time for another Embraer 190. Getting the shivers, starting to detox. Get me my Embraer 190 fix ASAP. KLM flight 1710. Embraer 190 arriving from Luxembourg. Seagulls are also in the vicinity, as you guys can see. Doing a little bit of photo bombing. And Bomberon Gaming, why would I need a poncho? Indeed, Frank, a porter cabin. Just a caravan or something. That would probably do the did the trick. Now, I've been seeing that protrusion for a few times now. Is that the APU inlet? I think it is, yeah. Never noticed it, but that is because I was watching on a smaller screen. So I guess that the 5.5-inch monitor does allow me to show a bit more details. Right, now SAS A320 arriving from Oslo, next airplane, closest by, going to center. SAS Delta A220. Another Embraer 190 arriving from Aberdeen up next to Polderbaan, still a bit further away. Get the impression that the wind is slowing down a little bit. Felt like the wind was blowing harder an hour ago. Helicopter Kestrel was visible in the bottom right quadrant, but I think it saw a mouse and dived lower. Embraer 190 from Aberdeen is up first, and yeah, is this Turkish Anadolu Jet BBN Airlines is number 2. A321 arriving from Istanbul. Corendon A350 should be number 3. Yeah. There it is, in the center. Nice 3 airplane glide slope shot. Jerry's still MIA. He's always not around lately whenever there are glide slope shots to be seen. Missing out on so many good opportunities to take in Jaeger, Goldschläger and Jaeger. Goldschläger Jaeger bombs. Right, this is German Airways. KLM flight 912, Aberdeen, Amsterdam. No Captain Weedy. Officer waves a lot. Question mark. No. Alright, well in that case let us turn back. The A350 in the meantime has become a bit more visible, better discernible as an A350. It's 11:40 and I'm also not seeing any airplanes going to the center runway anymore, so I think right now once again all inbound traffic is coming to Polderbaan, the runway we are standing next to, so that bodes well. Got 2 747s and an A380 underway. Also a 757 is coming in the 100 years special livery. Which also visited Amsterdam yesterday. This is BBN Airlines arriving from Istanbul, A321. One of those beautiful airplanes with intricate details. Now I am happy to see more lightness in the sky, where supposedly the rain is coming from, so that bodes well. Right, it's A350 time. This is Corendon Airlines, operated by World to Fly. The airplane we've seen so many times before already. Let me go back to the optical zoom, make those lamps a bit less pixelated. It's the A350-900 that dedicatedly flies between Willemstad, Curaçao and Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, flight 598. Flight time today was 8 hours and 33 minutes, or at least has been so far, I should say. Still a few moments to go. The airplane is a year old, Spanish registered. It's the Easy NZF. The airplane is a year old and its first flight was in May 2023, so this airplane turned 1 this month. And Clemencia, you're asking me a question that I cannot answer. I think you should contact YouTube instead if something does not work with super stickers. Are you sure that the transaction actually went through? Because it might also be that you did not see anything because the transaction never came to be. If you are experiencing any problems with that, it's not something that I can help you with, unfortunately. I think that is something you need to contact YouTube for then. Now, let's see what is coming in next. This is Embraer 175 arriving from Stuttgart. 737 arriving from Ibiza. Embraer 190 arriving from Teesside or Darlington. He is flying base. The Cargolux 747 is approaching, in theory, from over there somewhere. Now I'm not delusional in thinking we can see it already, but maybe in a few minutes. First up, this is KLM flight 1828 arriving from Stuttgart. Embraer 175. No Captain Willy. First officer waves a lot. Also not. Never mind then. Never mind then. This is Transavia flight 5676 arriving from Ibiza. Party hardy. PHHBG BJ. Okay. Behave. The HBJ. 14 years old. First flight was in May 2010. Also having a look left of me to see if maybe by a lucky streak I'm seeing, by a lucky break I'm seeing the 747. The answer is no, sadly not. So let's first look at the landing then of the Transavia 737, returning from the party island Ibiza, which supposedly is also endowed with nature where you can relax, do hikes. Now I'm always wondering how many of the passengers are going there for the beaches and the parties or for the nature. Now, apparently we went through the 400 likes just now, and even though it's still dry in terms of the weather, it has begun raining memberships again, courtesy of Austrian Wolf and JD. Thank you both so much for that. You guys really shouldn't have, but you did it anyway. Totally unnecessary, but very much appreciated. Thank you JD, thank you Austrian Wolf. If you are one of the recipients of the gifted memberships, don't forget to say Dankeschön to the recipient. To the donator, you are the recipient. Don't forget to say thank you to the donator. And also, another massive big thank you to Hans, who just now gifted 10 memberships. Holy cow. Thank you so much for that, Hans. Really, you shouldn't have, but thank you so much. Very generous, very kind. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you to Hans. Or dankjewel. Hans, dankjewel kerel. And JD and Austrian Wolf, thank you all so much. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. You now have access to the custom emojis. And in a couple of airplanes from now, you might be able to use them. The 747. The first of two is flying base. Should become number 3. Question is, can we see it already? The answer is, I'm not seeing it just yet, even with my monitor. The number 2 is already quite vague. Let's move a little bit to the left. No, visibility is not. Oh, no, that's the number 2. Visibility, unfortunately, not the best today. This is a Britty Hopper arriving from Teesside or Darlington, Eastern Airways, flight 964 for KLM, Embraer 190. Low-key wheelie. Nice. Put my feet in an improper position, which is why I wasn't able to follow the latter half as smoothly. Yeah, this is what it currently looks like. So it looked way worse in the beginning than it does right now. I'm not going to jump to conclusions. First queen of the show in the background visible, now number 2. In the foreground we have Transavia flight 6116 arriving from Malaga. 737-800, 2 hours 28 minutes on the way. The PHHSM, 9 years old, first flight April 2015. Let's have a quick look at the touchdown, then let's go back to the 747. Alrighty. There she is, folks, the first queen of the show, the first of 2 Cargoluxes that hopefully we'll have the luxury of seeing. Now number 5 on flight radar, 476 people are following it on flight radar. I say those are rookie numbers. We have almost twice as many viewers. Let's get it in the top 3. Not sure how many are needed, but we can pump those numbers up. It is arriving from Miami, Florida. 8 hours and 10 minutes on the way. The airplane is 17 years old and had its first flight in November 2006. And the seagulls are also getting excited. The arrival of the Cargolux 747. And the airplane behind it is KLM flight 758, a 777-300 arriving from Panama City. It's a bit of a bummer, because that means that we cannot linger too long on the rollout of the 747. Now, let's look and listen. Hopefully she is heavy. Hopefully she'll get loud. Has anybody checked if Jennifer Lopez Let's Get Loud is in the background on the ATIS already? So that whenever the pilots are checking in for the weather, they hear "Let's get loud, let's get loud." Hell yeah! I think the subliminal message worked. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Well, Cargolux did get loud. Not too sure about the next airplane though. KLM pilots tend to be very boring when it comes to using the reversers, particularly when they're piloting the heavies, which of course is good and is nice for the neighbors of Schiphol Airport, which is undoubtedly one of the concerns. For us though, bit bland. And again, they do land very gently, very often. Let's quickly have a look. Up next, KLM flight 758, arriving from Panama City, 777-300 ER, 9 hours and 15 minutes on the way, the PHB VR. This particular airplane is 8 years old and had its first flight in May 2016. Let's look and listen. Nice, nice, nice. Right. Eden Real says my ears exploded. Absolutely, so did mine. The 747 definitely got loud the way we like it. The next 777 is already turning in. 777-200 arriving from Guayaquil. And before that 777-200 from Guayaquil will land, we'll have the next two narrow bodies. TUI up first, arriving from Ibiza. More party people coming back. Now this is Sunwing Airlines doing the flight. Nice orangey tail. Flying for TUI as flight 1532, 737-800. 2 hours and 13 minutes on the way to get from Ibiza to, well, just a few meters of Amsterdam soil. Canadian registered for some reason. The airplane is 8 years old and had its first flight in February 2016. I like that they also have the letters of the registration in the same orange as is on the tail and the engine casings. It's a nice touch. Indeed, party people. Party people. Yes, quack quack, that's Daisy. Also still present. You might have heard her just now. Where is she? There she is. What? 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 Always nice to have a little chat with her. Next up is an Embraer 190 German Airways flight 1774 arriving from Berlin. 59 minutes underway. This Embraer 190 short range, 16 years old, first flight January 2008, making it just as old as Chucky. Is that helicopter Kestrel on the right? Not sure if it was. Where? Where? What? 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 Now, Also a big thank you to Leo, who just became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Welcome to the club, mate. Thank you for choosing AMS Live. Hope you will like it in the lounge. If something isn't to your liking, do let me know. Cannot promise that I can fix everything, but I am going to do my best. This is KLM flight 751. KLM flight 751, a 777-200 ER, having arrived from Guayaquil, which is in, and the airplane is 20 years old, first flight November 2003. And Peter K, she is still talking. She's quite talkative actually. I can understand why you would think that she won't talk to me. I'm sure you're not as fluent in duck speak as I am. Now, Monty says, I don't think your meter on the crawl is updating. That's right, it isn't. I need to do that manually. Good moment to have a look and see what is going on. In the meantime, the second 747 is approaching Dutch airspace and the A380 has just entered German airspace. Let's do a refresh, talking about parties. Advertising for Siret. Wind is still in the southeastern corner and wind speed 9 knots, so it is slowing down actually a little bit as I was sensing. No longer cavalcade, but few clouds at 2,400 feet. The temperature is still the same. I think I'm actually feeling a slight droplet just now. Copied the meter just now. We'll paste it in the ticker in a moment. First, another Britty hopper, Eastern Airways. I'm now also getting a warning from Baja Alarm that within 30 minutes for a longer period of time it is going to rain in Schiphol. So that is a warning now for Schiphol Airport. Quick update of the meter in the ticker for you guys. Yeah, if anybody knows how you can auto update that in Ecamm Live, I'm all ears. I'm also still curious if there's a way to automatically display highlighted messages. And also a big thank you and warm welcome to Marcus, who just became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Thank you for choosing AMS Live. Hope you will like it in the lounge. Got a Delta A330 up next, flight 164. When we turn the camera to the south during the rollout, I can also show you what the sky looks like in that part of the sky right now. It has become a bit darker than it was before. So the weather app warning me of rain for a longer period of time within 30 minutes does seem to make some sense. Let's look and listen. Delta A330s. Will this one get loud? Captain Letdown. Sadly no. Sadly no. This was Delta Airlines flight 164, having arrived from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 16 years old. Zooming out to show you what the sky in the south and southwest now looks like. absolutely a bit darker. Also some movement in the clouds. Not really indicative of long-term dry weather. What does the weather radar say? Do a refresh. This is past hour and we are over here and this is coming and it doesn't look like it is resolving, and it does look like it is going to graze over Schiphol Airport. So I think I already feel some slight droplets. I think I am going to wrap up at some point sometime soon. I'm not sure that all of the precipitation that you saw in the loop of the Buienradar website just now is actually reaching the ground. So it's probably not going to get torrential overnight, so to speak. But there's definitely precipitation underway. Let's see, it is 12 o'clock now. Would be nice if we were able to catch the landing of the second 747 still. About to enter Dutch airspace. I'm thinking Polderbaan, this runway is going to stay the only runway for arrivals at least until 1 o'clock or around 1 o'clock. So the 747 now in German airspace should come to this runway if all goes well. .737s. Hey, that's Daisy, and we have Jinshin as well. Jinshin the Coot. So Gary Grebe is still missing. Harry the Heron is still missing. Donald also still missing. It's just Daisy today. Maybe Donald has gone shopping or something. Could be. This is Transavia flight 6332. Hans says, according to the radar, it also should be raining over here, but nothing is falling. Exactly what I was mentioning. Oftentimes there are false positives indicating rain when actually there isn't any rain. Now Hans, where are you living? Where is it supposedly supposed to rain right now? Because I do believe that what you see on the radar at some point is going to lead to precipitation. It's probably just not immediately in the beginning. Gorkum, right. Well, we'll see, you know. We know what is coming. Emirates A380 is still 50-ish minutes or so out, so who knows, we might be lucky, make it until the A380. Let's see. We have narrow bodies on the glide slope. Embraer 175 arriving from Stuttgart up first, and the airplane behind that is an airplane that will allow Han to do a coffee break. First up, KLM flight 1830 arriving from Stuttgart. Embraer 175. Not a Captain Willie-esque landing by any means. First officer commencing a wave in a moment. I thought I saw some movement, but he was probably just putting away the tablet or something. So yeah, this is what the southern sky and the southwestern sky look like. This is directly to the west. Airplanes passing overhead, outbound. Another Embraer. Hey, yellow vehicle. Is that a Schiphol Authority vehicle of sorts? Could be. Now, next up is Vueling. Flight 8309. It's an A320 having arrived from Barcelona. 1 hour and 57 minutes of flight time. The plane is 16 years old. Nice detail is the redness on the inside of those reverser flaps or slots. You guys were thinking he's going to zoom into that one dot, right? Switch it up sometimes. It's T11. It's T11. Tea time. What's your tea time? 11 o'clock. Next up, Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds. In the background is a big bird, and that is arriving from Lima. Probably a lot of lima beans in the cargo hold. Daisy is still yakking away over here. Where? Right, the Adler has landed. German Airways special livery, flying for KLM, arriving from the UK. Bit of personal hygiene, always good. Next up, KLM flight 744 arriving from Lima in Peru. BVU 777-300, 6 years old, first flight September 2017, with the little Adler on the side. You can definitely see how the area of more cloudiness is drifting in. You can see the border right from where the sky is a bit more open still, until it gets really a bit more dark. Slowly but surely coming this way. Much brighter sky north of me. Let's just look that way then. KLM 737 outbound to Riga, which is what you might pick up on the mic. The next airplane inbound is arriving from Genoa, KLM flight 1644. The airplane behind it is a KLM A330 arriving from Bonaire, and behind it is a 777-300ER arriving from Vancouver, now turning in. Or is that the number 4 already? No. Right, this is KLM flight 1644 arriving from Genoa. Embraer 190. 1 hour and 42 minutes on the way. The airplane is 15 years old, first flight November 2008. I see that Dennis and Gregory and Daniela are hungry. They're biting. Yum, 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 yum. 3 airplanes visible in the distance. KLM flight 765, A330 arriving from Bonaire, 777-300ER arriving from Vancouver, and the third airplane is arriving from Basel, EasyJet. Fourth is also already lined up, but not seeing it. Maybe a bit lower. Not sure if visibility will allow us to see the fourth airplane already. Siegfried, goedemorgen. Alles goed?
Ja, eigenlijk is het goedemiddag.
Is het al goedemiddag? Sorry. Doen we over. Goedemiddag. Hi. 3 airplanes visible already. Right. This is KLM flight 765 arriving from Bonaire in the Caribbean Sea. A330-300, tippy-toey. Right, thank you Rob for the information of the whereabouts of the 747, the second Cargolux, now above Lelystad. Meanwhile, this is what is slowly but surely drifting our way. Right on the edge of where it is still so versus so-so. Hey, ducklings! Or at least one. I thought... Oh yeah, or is that... No, that's just Daisy. I was about to say, I thought there were 2 earlier when I saw the ducklings in the distance, but I'm not sure anymore. There were 2 cootlings over at Pier 6. is the PHBVO, and BVO is a Dutch abbreviation for biertje voor onderweg, a beer for on the road. PHBVO returned from Vancouver, 9-year-old airplane. B738 passing by, and even the water reflects the darkness of the clouds that are moving in slowly but surely. Now I'm also seeing that it is raining memberships once more. The dynamic duo added again, I think, for crossing the 500 likes mark. Thank you so much for that, folks, and also a particularly big thank you then to Austrian Wolf and JD. 5 more members gifted by each of them. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you to both JD and to Austrian Wolf if you are one of the recipients. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Hope you'll like it in the lounge. Again, Jörg, Wolfgang, thank you both so much. You really shouldn't have. EasyJet A320 arriving from Basel. Now, just doing a little bit of zooming out. The 747 is in the vicinity, is flying downwind. So now looking in the distance to see if I can see it already. Under normal conditions, with good visibility, I would be able to see it, and I think I have it. Question now is, where is it? It's, I think this is it. Yes, there it is. Cargolux arriving from Nairobi. The other one was arriving from Miami. This one from Nairobi. Really close by, and we are going to see it pretty soon. Not yet though, so let's focus on what we can see a bit better. And that would be KLM flight 1164. Kenny says it's already raining in New Vennep. That does not bode well. That is just 10 kilometers or so from down south from here. Infinity, you still there? Is it also raining in Lisse? Probably, then. This is KLM flight 1164, returning from Bergen. Yeah, shit is coming. Absolutely. It's even west of me already. This is looking directly to the west. It's not going to stay dry for much longer, that we can tell. I think I'm going to wrap up after the 747 has landed, which will hopefully be soon. Dennis still hasn't eaten anything, still eats it very hungrily. Do you really think that I don't know how to pronounce those names? Really? You think? Nah, this is just feeding, this is just trolling, and I'm feeding the trolls. Somebody has to do it. Better beat me then. Miami, Nairobi, Houston. House music originated from Houston. Did you guys know that? EasyJet A320neo arriving from Milan. Got an umbrella with me, Gregory. Absolutely. And a little cat Norplay asks about the camera and the lens. It's a frequently asked question. You can find a list of my gear in the about section. Current camera is a Canon XA60. I think I am going to wrap up after the 747 has landed, folks, and that is now the number 5, probably. LM Gaming says if it rains, then you can also film from your car. Well, that would mean filming by hand. Not exactly my cup of tea. My setup is a bit more elaborate than other live streamers who might use a phone or something. (737) arriving from Milan. KLM flight 1614. Oh, and that's the first droplet that I felt in my neck just now. Shit is about to begin. Dennis says, kun je wel tegen een oude kerel? Do you dare against an older man? Yeah, absolutely. Age is but a number. I don't discriminate people based on their age. So whether you're old or old or young, I'll troll whoever I want. Right? Lot, flight 263 up next, Embraer 175 arriving from Warsaw. 1 hour 43 minutes on the way. Embraer 175 long range, 14 years old, first flight March 2010. The countdown has begun. Are we still able to see airplanes on the glide slope? Only 1, 2, 3. Oh! The 747 is already visible. Now, how about that for a 3 airplane glide slope shot? Preceding the 747 and now climbing in rank, literally, is a Delta A330 arriving from Boston. Might get loud. Obviously, Lot just landed. Spill. Right, the final 3 airplanes for today's show. E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Prague. A330-300 arriving from Boston. And the last airplane of the day, Cargolux arriving from Nairobi in Kenya. 747-400. Now, weather tomorrow looks like better, according to the weather sites so far. Let's hope that becomes true. If that's the case, I am looking to go out again tomorrow. Probably another morning stream, if weather will allow me to. And my gear does not break because of rain, but nah, it's just beginning to drizzle ever so slightly. I think we should be good. Right, KLM flight 1354, E2 Embraer 195, looking a bit darkish. Returning from Prague in the Czech Republic, 1 hour and 12 minutes on the way. The airplane is 2 years old and had its first flight in March 2022. Last 2 airplanes of the show. Delta Airlines Flight 242 arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. It's an A330-300, 6 hours and 14 minutes on the way. The airplane is 20 years old and had its first flight in March 2004. Right. Let me already get some of my rubber bands so that I can also wire up my cables in a moment. I'm also going to go ahead already and say a big thank you to everybody who has joined in the meantime. I'm going to wrap up right after the landing of the 747 because it is going to go down here with rain pretty soon. It's already drizzling, so I'm waiting for the 747 to land and then I'm going to pack things up really rapidly because it is starting to rain harder now pretty rapidly. And I am not going to wait, Wolfgang. You could probably hear already it's starting to rain. It's similar to yesterday, it's starting to rain relatively quickly, relatively soon. Last airplane of the day, arriving from Nairobi, Kenya, Cargolux, number 5 on flight radar, 600 people are following it. Cargolux Italia is operating it, flight 2616, 8 hours and 21 minutes on the way from Nairobi to Amsterdam thus far. The airplane is 15 years old, first flight was in July 2008. Now folks, if you haven't already, don't forget to drop another like. It really helps to spread this content to more aviation enthusiasts such as yourselves, and subscribing also doesn't hurt the channel. Like if you have liked what you have seen, and if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams, be sure to subscribe. As I said before, hopefully I will be able to go out again tomorrow for another live stream. Will depend on the weather. There's the airplane coming in. Let's hope she'll be loud. There's a nice little vortex being sucked into the right inner engine that you guys hopefully saw, and otherwise look it back on replay. Little vortex of the reversers throttling up to give brake power. I am going to wrap it up now, folks. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you so much for the support, all the super chats, super stickers, all the gifted memberships, particular Hans, Astrowolf, JD, thank you all so much. Everybody else, also big thank you. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. Hope to see you on the next one. Be safe. Moderators, thank you once again for keeping the chat friendly and accessible. I'm going to wrap up quickly. Peace out. See you in the next one.